The former Chief Secretary to the Treasury just lost his seat. And tell us your feelings, first of all, Mr. Alexander.
Well, it's very disappointing. I'm personally disappointed, and for the party more widely, it's been a very, very hard night indeed. So, I believe that we've done a good job for the country over the last 5 years, but clearly that's not an opinion shared by voters in some parts of the country. So, there we are.
Do you regret it? Was it a price worth paying going into coalition? As you point out there, boy, how you've been punished as a party.
I don't regret it. I think that we did the right thing. We chose the national interest, actually, as it turns out, way ahead of our own party interest, in order to make sure that the country had a stable government that was able to take decisions to sort out the economy. I think we've done that job very well. We've made a difference to millions of people. And here in the Highlands, I've made a huge difference myself. But, a combination of a number of factors, including here in Scotland, a very strong performance from the nationalists, has meant that we have not held on in the numbers that I would have hoped.
So many questions about Scotland, about your own party. Let's start with Scotland then. Do you think then that the momentum is building up again for another independence referendum after this?
Well, it's clear that's what the SNP want to do. I suspect that is how they will use the large numbers of MPs that they have. I hope that we don't go down that route. I don't think it's what most people in Scotland want, but it is what the SNP want. My opponent here, who's now the MP, was clear that he saw this election as a stepping stone to independence, and I think it's a big challenge for the next government to think about how to handle the issues in Scotland. Obviously, delivering on the Smith Commission must remain the top priority, but it's going to be a big issue for a number of years to come.
Well, you may not be an MP, but you're still a senior Liberal Democrat. What do you think about the future for your party, and in particular being led by Nick Clegg? Do you think he should stay on?
Well, look, Nick Clegg has said he's going to talk about that and the future of the party later this morning. I think that we should allow Nick the time and space to say what he wants to say. I'm not going to come in ahead of that. Obviously, in terms of the future of the party, it's for those people who've been elected to Parliament today or yesterday, primarily to lead those decisions, and I don't really have much more to add at this point.
And what about, well, have you got any thoughts about future coalitions or deals, if required, with the few seats the Lib Dems do have? Could you see you supporting the Conservatives again? Well, it remains to be seen whether that is necessary or what the overall outcome of the election is. That's really a matter for those MPs who have been elected. Our constitution puts the parliamentary party in the driving seat, but I imagine those MPs would want to think very, very carefully before going into any arrangement, given the results we've seen over the last few hours. And what about your own future, Mr. Alexander? Staying in politics? I'm just looking forward to getting a good night's sleep. I've lost an election. That's what happens in democracies. But there are many worse things that can happen in life, and so I'll carry on one way and another. Danny Alexander, thank you very much indeed, former Chief Secretary to the Treasury there. Let's find out more about the overall state of this extraordinary general election. Ed